It was one of those calm mornings at the lake where everything feels still, the water, the air, even the sound of the dock shifting under the soft breeze. I was inside my cabin, sitting at the table with a pot of fresh coffee between me and my guest, the state attorney general. We were in the middle of going over documents for a community land preservation initiative I'd been pushing for months. It was quiet, focused, until the sound of fast, stomping footsteps started coming up the dock. Before either of us could react, the door slammed open so hard it shook the frame. In marched the HOA president, the kind of woman people call Karen, without even knowing her name, face flushed red, eyes locked on me like she'd been rehearsing this confrontation all morning. In one hand she had a clipboard stuffed with papers, in the other she had a camera pointed at me. "You're in violation of multiple HOA rules," she barked before I could even stand. "You've built illegal structures on community property, and I'm here to document it for our legal case." I calmly told her she was mistaken. My cabin had been here decades before the HOA even formed, and my land was completely outside their jurisdiction. But she was already circling the room, snapping pictures, talking about how she'd personally see to it that I was removed. She hadn't noticed my guest yet. The Attorney General was sitting quietly, watching her like a teacher watches a student dig themselves deeper into trouble. When she finally swung around toward his side of the table, her mouth froze mid-sentence. The color drained from her face as she recognized him. "Attorney General, I didn't know," she stammered, her tone suddenly a lot less confident. He took off his glasses and looked her square in the eye. "I've already reviewed this property's legal standing," he said. "This cabin is privately owned, outside of HOA jurisdiction, and your actions here today could easily be classified as trespassing and harassment." Karen tried to backpedal, muttering about community standards and miscommunication, but the Attorney General wasn't having it. "Standards don't give you the right to burst into someone's home uninvited," he said firmly. "You may want to seek legal counsel before you set foot on this property again, because the next time you do, you could be facing charges." Her voice cracked as she mumbled an apology, gathered her papers, and practically bolted out the door. We heard her footsteps retreat down the dock faster than she'd come in. The Attorney General looked at me, shook his head with a faint smile, and said, "I guess I showed up just in time." We went back to our coffee, signed off on the preservation plans, and locked in protections for the lake that would keep people like her from ever trying something like that again.